I want to finish up by touching on replication one more time because replication is such an important concept in terms of validating results. A study published in May of 2021 has some alarming results regarding replication. So, from this study, they found many findings in social sciences and medicine don't hold up when other researchers try to repeat the experiments. So, in other words, they repeat that same process that was published in the research, and they're not able to show a statistically significant difference in those results. The largest gap was in papers published in Nature and Science. Non-replicable papers were cited 300 times more than papers that actually had replicable results. So what's really interesting is unreliable research tends to be cited as if the results were true long after that publication failed to replicate. So this is a very concerning thing that so many non-replicable papers are being cited. Possible reason for this, when the results are more interesting, the review teams of academic journals tend to apply lower standards regarding their reproducibility, right? So if those results are exciting, it's something the news might report on, just to kind of draw some attention to the field, they might allow that to sway their decision, whereas some uninteresting research that had a similar quality of results, they would have denied. Okay. Another important thing to consider here is that in promotion decisions, so for professors, most academic institutions use citations as an important part of the decision of whether to promote a faculty member. So if you have research that hasn't been replicated or failed to replicate, and it's being cited 300 times more often, that's going to make you look more attractive for promotion just based on the number that you've been cited, rather than understanding that all of those citations may not be a good thing if your research isn't able to be replicated. Okay, so let's look at an example of this. This is a pretty famous example. The study Andrew Wakefield published in The Lancet in 1998 turned tens of thousands of parents around the world against the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine because of an applied link between vaccines and autism. So this was retracted, and that was due for a couple of reasons. It was based on a case study. So a case study is when you kind of look at, you have one patient who has some extraordinary results, you have a handful of patients, and so you publish that. And typically a case study should be something that is indicating an avenue for more research, some replication, some really thoughtfully designed experiments. And instead what happens is some people take case studies to be, oh, this is true for everything. So case studies are a difficult thing and something you always want to watch out for. There's also a financial conflict of interest. So this is really interesting. I assumed, based on things I've heard, that he was against all vaccinations, but he actually was advocating for a single vaccine series. So I think the measles, mumps, and rubella is 2 injections, and so he was advocating for one. And at the time he was doing that, he was also filing patents for this single shot dose. So had that become what everybody used, he would stand to make a lot of money as the patent holder. And then the other reason, and this is a very serious one, that it was retracted was there was never any replication of these findings. So it's possible that there is a link there. It doesn't look like we have a very strong association, but that could be for a variety of reasons. But we definitely don't have enough evidence to say this is true. Okay. So these incorrect findings were actually retracted by the Lancet 12 years later, but the claims that autism is linked to vaccines still continue to this day. And then this is a recent example that I just heard in the last week, based on when I'm recording this. So new research shows that it's possible that the theory of the cause for Alzheimer's may be based on photoshopped images. So basically, what is being claimed is that the researcher who was in charge of these images took several different ones and kind of took the parts that they wanted and copied and pasted them into a collage of sorts, but claimed it was from a single patient. So whether that's true or not, this is like a very new breaking story. So there's still a lot being looked into with this, but it was published in Science what this neuroscience sleuth found. Why is this concerning? So what's concerning here is if true, and this is not the cause for Alzheimer's, in the last 16 years of research and hundreds of millions of dollars spent researching a cure based on that cause were wasted. So, um, really making sure that we have validated results that have been replicated is important before we go down these paths of science and research and trying to find a cure.